Warning: this show contains spoilers.
We're calling it the Idiot Hour?
Galuska, dude, I'll stay right here and play clarinet.
We'll get into all that in a future episode.
Ladies. Gentlemen. Wow, why?
You're really catawampus.
Yeah, man.
What is happening here?
No, I think if you move the whole thing.
All right, that's better.
No, it's not.
We're getting there.
Never said a baby to do a man's job.
Hey, that's a callback to about 45 seconds ago.
Oh, 90s sitcom where the main guys are jostling for position. What is up, guys?
Bumping buddies.
Welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Idiot Hour. I am your host, Deke.
I am your co-host.
No. And behind the electronics, as always, is intern Josh.
Yeah, you practiced that, yeah. Josh, I want to start the show off by asking you, why didn't you know we were switching the show to 9 p.m.?
You know, last night was a 3-hour live podcast, and now
It's not a
this.
podcast if you don't put it out.
Ooh. It was live, bud.
Live.
We were live on Facebook all last night, all 3 hours of it.
That's a show.
I'm just exhausted.
Yeah, I stole it. Thank you. Anyway, so welcome back to the Idiot Hour. What we do here is hang out and talk, and about stuff.
Yes.
So and things we have done. I'm going to try to do this every episode. We started off with Nickelodeon vs. Cartoon Network. The next week, I'm trying to think if that's the one you weren't here.
I think it was, wasn't it?
Nope. Next week was Star Wars.
Next week was Star Wars. Then the next week you weren't here, so we did Ask the Internet, which was a lot of animal stuff, which was awesome. And then we just recently did Pokemon. So now, we did conspiracy theories. Wow, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th episode of the 8 Hour, 5th with you.
I was 2 on, 1 off, 2 on. I was almost going to miss next week.
You know, we should have made that thing. Anyway, so this week we are going to be going through the wonderful, wonderful world of Marvel vs. DC. Ooh. Josh did take a little haircut.
No,
No?
it's just done today. Oh my god. All right, I'm
Josh
sorry.
has his pupils dilated, so
You can't see.
no making fun of him until the spelling bee. Which we are doing a spelling bee today.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, are we ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
I did no preparation.
Ooh.
This week on the Idiot Hour, we pull on our spandex, don the mask, depicting an animal that mutated us, and deliver vigilante justice to the universe. That's right, this week we dig into DC versus Marvel. Gents, for the sake of our Versus series, that's right, it's a series now.
What is?
Versus. Nickelodeon versus Cartoon Network, DC versus Marvel. Never mind.
I thought there's a game.
We break down some key factors where
each other.
these two comic book giants go head-to-head. Today's categories are the good guys, the bad guys, the movies, the TV shows, and finally, the iconic franchise.
What about the books?
So,
Ooh, he had it in.
now, some people may be asking why the comics are not a category. My thought is to keep this as mainstream as possible. If there's an appetite for us to do a deep dive into the comics, please let us know because I would personally love to do that. Finally, we will finish with a draft with every character from both DC and Marvel available to draft your top 5.
Is it nerdy to have not read the comic books now, but like Marvel?
I don't...
Wait, is it nerdy of not to?
Yeah. Like, here's what I'll say. Is it nerdy to know things from the comic books because I watched people read them on YouTube?
Oh, that's sick. I would do that.
That's how I watched it in Gauntlet.
You never read the comics.
No.
I think that sums up 2020.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, but hear me out. I don't have the ability to acquire
Well, that's not true.
all
That's
of the
really
comics.
not true.
That's absolutely not
Really?
true.
Yeah.
They have an app. You can literally get an app on your phone that has fucking endless
See?
amounts.
That's
of
not
comics.
mainstream information.
Oh.
I'm sure it's mainstream if you like comics, but for me, I'm just out here Googling.
I literally have every Ninja Turtles comic book ever made.
I have every. They used to do Rugrats comic books. They had
Okay.
a Nickelodeon series, so I had Rugrats comic books and I had Rocket Power comic books.
Comixology. I couldn't remember the name of it. That's the app.
Yeah. So anyway.
Anywho.
Why the books weren't in there.
Okay. However, today's Idiot Hour comes with a bonus segment, a humiliating spelling bee, where Derek and Boyd will each get 5 chances to stump me as I attempt to spell every word that common people know. And I realized that I spelled spiel.
We would have never known. Just let the record show. We would have never known.
We're
Glad
killing
that
it.
You know,
Just
made the
lighting it on
announcement.
fire today. All right, but before everyone points and laughs at the idiot facade, let's jump into
Should we all do an insecurities episode?
our second versus show. I
I'll
don't
eat.
care.
I'll drink milk.
Oh, you don't like to drink milk?
I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh, that's
too. I
right.
like milk
Let's see
either.
if you poop yourself on air.
No. Okay. Okay.
We did already have the conversation about poop.
okay.
But no, what I'm saying is we should, like, if you guys find I have a fault, good luck. I believe that we should we should have an episode. That's a clip. Clip that. No, but like if you find out that we have insecurities, I think we should do it the same way as the spelling bee.
Okay.
So that it doesn't look like we're punishing an intern.
I would rather it look like punishing an intern.
All right.
All right.
Wolf of Wall Street.
All right. So the first thing I want to point out is DC's iconic heroes. The first stop on the DC Marvel train is the good guys. Let's start on the DC side. Some of the most iconic heroes ever lay on this side. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Green Arrow. Outside of the big three, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, DC's roster isn't that deep. The big three are arguably some of the most iconic characters in modern history, but is that enough to give them the edge? Boys, your thoughts on what DC has to offer on the good guy spectrum?
It blows my mind the amount of different angles you can take on Batman's character. And what
Yeah.
I mean by that is he a superhero or is he the world's greatest detective? Or, you know what I mean? But they did such a good job because you can talk about all the guys in Marvel. Superman is bigger than comic books in a way.
Yep.
Like athletes will wear it every time. Like there's comedians that have bits. Like Superman's there. So it's interesting that they have like the heavy hitters, but I like the other side's content more.
Sure. Boyd?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've always been a Marvel guy, but I do love DC. Like Batman is, to me, I mean, I don't know. Batman and Superman are like
They're like the,
comic
the
books.
two.
Yeah.
Like they're the two.
They're not the first comic book superheroes,
Right.
but they are the most iconic. It's what you think of when you think of a comic book character is Superman and Batman.
Yep.
And Wonder Woman had a quick rise to fame right off their heels. That was the first character post-Batman Superman that got hot for
Gal
them.
Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
But
But
Gal Gadot's butt.
if DC has 3 top stars, Marvel has the exact opposite. They have a seemingly endless list of compelling heroes to choose from in an ensemble cast. You want the perfect human? That's Captain America. How about a tech genius? That's Iron Man. Greek god? Thor. Radioactive super genius? The Hulk. All these guys make up the Avengers, which is a supergroup comprised of Marvel's flagship heroes. Outside of that, there's an endless number of heroes like Spider-Man, Wolverine, Mr. Fantastic, Doctor Strange, Peter Quill, all of which belong to their own supergroup and universe, all of which can be combined into one big storyline at will.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite from this ensemble cast?
I am a Star-Lord guy.
Okay.
And I do not think he is the best or the strongest or the favorite, like whatever. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. And when I instantly saw like Pratt as Quill, I was like, dude, this is
Sign me
fucking,
up.
this is me. Like I feel like I get smacked around, I get punched, I think I'm cool, I look fat next to Thor. Like I was like, that signed me up right there, yeah.
I'm going to go. Man, I love like Tony Stark and I love Iron Man and
You're not supposed to like him.
I know, like you're not, but it's like and when they cast Downey as Stark, like yeah, I mean you couldn't like have a better person that like embodies that role because like that was like Downey was that just not Iron Man.
Yeah.
Basically, he was Tony Stark essentially.
Right.
Maybe not in the like genius.
No, but
like-
the debonair, the
I know
millionaire
more than you.
playboy,
Yeah.
I know more than you, and you can't do shit about it. For me, my roots go back to my grandfather giving me Spider-Man comic books. So Spidey is just in the animated series and the video games and just all through my childhood, Spider-Man sheets, everything Spider-Man. Okay, that's who I wanted to be when I was playing in the backyard. I was like, Then I got older. Then I started reading comic books. I fell into a huge Captain America phase. Because at that point was the Secret Invasion storyline. You had brought that up in the text group earlier. And Cap is a huge part of that storyline. But then as I went into college and my comic books really started to grow and I started to look into some other things and expanded universes, I found a series called The Illuminati. And it's an incredible series if you've never heard about it. Basically, it's exactly what Illuminati means, but for the Marvel Universe. It's comprised of Doctor Strange, Namor, Iron Man, Black Bolt, Dr. X, Doctor Strange, all these guys. And they're all fighting their own separate battles, but then they have these closed-door secret meetings in a space base. And, like, it's all talking. There's very little fighting. And it's actually what leads into the Secret Invasion. And in that series, Iron Man steals the show. And so I became a huge Iron Man guy, and I've been an Iron Man guy since. And the movies and the Avengers movies have only continued to boost that for me.
I always wanted to be Wolverine when I was growing up.
Right?
Schnickety schnick. I like Gambit personally. That was my
Are you excited, Channing Tatum? If they do it.
if they do it. I have
Channing Tatum can do whatever the hell he wants.
also
Guys,
I have
incredible.
full like. I think that Kevin Feige and Marvel can do no wrong.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to casting
Yep.
characters, like that's one thing where I think as well that Marvel just surpasses DC on.
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
only thing that I see, like, I don't know, maybe I'm jumping the gun here about the. We'll get into
Josh
that.
will tell you if you are too.
I was gonna say I was gonna
Yeah.
just start going into the why I think that Marvel, their cinematic universe obviously way outshines the DC. DC tried a lot of different things, and I respect it, but it's just like the formula that Kevin Feige has like come up with for these movies.
Amazing.
They keep cranking them out, and you're like, when is it gonna get stale? And it really doesn't.
all of
It's I will go see them until they stop making them, which I hope is never.
Right.
And but on the other hand, like I love the DC television shows.
We're getting into all that.
I love
I'm
it,
so
so-
excited for you to
I
dig
told
into
you.
it.
I told you he was going to tell you. Because
Let's start with the good guys.
Good guys.
So
guys only.
who has the edge here? DC or Marvel?
DC.
DC.
DC because of Batman and Superman.
Oh, basically just because of Superman, I think.
I don't know.
Because I think if you look at the categorization of the characters like Captain America, Superman, Tony Stark, Batman, in a very off-putting way.
Sure.
And hear me
Okay.
out by the face
No,
of the
yeah,
franchise.
I see that strength.
And Superman is just so much more.
But what about like Thor, Superman?
So if you're talking about a one-on-one fight, I'm still, and we'll obviously probably get into that, I'm still taking Superman because there is, like, Superman is just more. Like, it's one of those things where you're like, all right, like, I have infinity rockets. Well, shit, I don't have more rockets than you now because that's impossible. And I feel like Superman's up on one of those levels.
He has
where
infinity rockets.
He has infinity rockets.
Superman has infinity rockets.
But
Thor could have 6 trillion, but that's not infinity.
but I'm saying like Batman took down Superman, so
No, yeah. I call that bullshit, but yeah, cheap shot.
The question
cheap
is,
shot. But you don't think that Tony Stark could devise a way to
the
take Superman down?
Hulkbuster?
It would be the Hulk.
Well, no, the Hulkbuster suit took down the Hulk. The Hulk's closest thing to Superman in that universe, kind of.
Loosely, but yeah, agreed.
The
I wish the
Hulkbuster.
Hulk could fly.
Anyway, so we're gonna give the edge to DC because of you're giving the edge to DC. Do you
I am.
agree?
No.
That's good for the show. If it
I
helps your
at
decision.
first I don't know why. At first I was like, yeah, and then
You did go instantly.
I did. I was like,
The
yeah,
second
DC.
I opened my mouth,
you were like
yeah.
DC, and I was like, yeah, DC.
I'm so good at my job.
But no,
Here comes in the
professional.
studio.
That was unprofessional. I'm
I-
really pissed at myself.
I don't think anyone heard that, to be fair, but he is actually mad at himself for it because I know Josh, and I know that's something built into his head for
sickening,
shoots.
sickening. Let's get a new intern.
The fall semester, we're gonna have to switch it up.
But no, good guys. I think. Man,
You got 3 seconds.
I'm going Marvel.
Thank you.
I'm going Marvel. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's move on. Both brands have their fair share of baddies, but who has the best baddies? Let's look at DC first.
Yes.
DC, if DC has a short roster and good guy department, they have an endless string of bad guys to throw at them. Batman alone has had over 100 featured bad guys, and all of them at one point or another have laid claim to famously gunning down Bruce Wayne's parents. What is great about DC is that they write
so
such
fucked up.
awesome villains that sometimes they transition them into heroes, like Suicide Squad, taking a selection of some of the most interesting villains in their world, turning them into good guys and having them fight crime.
Yep.
Plus, amongst all of the bad guys, we can talk about the Joker. Is in his own category.
Jared
He
Leto.
single-handedly... All right, we're going home. That's the fucking end of this show. We're done here.
What'd I do? Jack
He
Nicholson.
single-handedly is the biggest villain in the world and deserves his own special credit. So if you have the biggest hero ever and the biggest villain ever,
And they're not together. Sometimes they are, but like...
it's just an interesting little world here.
Here's
But-
what I'm saying. I'm trying to look at some of the pictures because honestly, I know I don't know many of Superman's other than like the robotic Superman or whatever he's called.
Wait, what?
There's some Superman that's like silver or some shit.
yeah.
Anyways.
I thought you were. What's the other one, Superman though?
Inferno, man. I don't know.
It's like something. He has the reverse S. It's like the backwards S.
oh,
But I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know.
it's something. But
I literally,
Lex
I don't
Luthor
know. Outside of
is
Batman, my
Yes.
DC knowledge is nothing.
which I will say, you're not touching on video games in this.
No.
Wow, Arkham City, great game.
Well, and there's the Marvel's the Avengers series of video games is brilliant. The Spider-Man games for like Xbox and PlayStation were revolutionary.
Well, let's talk villains.
Yeah,
I
alright,
messed up. I'm
villains.
sorry. I apologize.
It's okay.
I got us very off track. I think that
can do
the
that on another
coolest
show.
Thing, it is my show.
No, I'm saying we can do that on a different show, like a video.
He said,
game.
"Hey, take up time on your own show."
That's
I
not
know
what.
what he said.
That's
I heard
not
it.
what I was
Anyways,
saying.
their villains were cool. They were different, but they were very much. It seemed like they were more. I don't want to say. I don't know. I don't want to say like intellectual, but the Joker and Lex Luthor, like they were two of the biggest. Again, so you have this conversation of like they're controlling a lot of these other villains, or they're getting these villains together in groups, or they're switching to be good guys. Like they are very prominent.
Yeah. Boyd, your thoughts on the DC
Are you
villains?
still gonna reverse this?
I was trying to remember
Yeah, I'll try.
what his name was.
Oh, go ahead. I can
it's-
blab for a bit.
I'll look you
No,
go.
I will. Okay, we're just talking villains. I mean,
DC villains.
those are to me all of the DC villains are like
Bizarro.
kind of bizarre.
yeah,
Superman,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Kind of campy.
Okay. Okay.
And
I like. Boyd and I are on the same wavelength on this one. I
I
it.
love the Joker, but when you look at the Joker before like Jack Nicklaus did anything.
Well, or really before the Killing Joke.
I always get Jack Nicholson and Jack Nicholas confused.
I do it all the time. I hate it. The Killing Joke, but that was written in.
Are you talking about like on-screen Joker?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But also, I mean that I'm just I like the Tim Burton Joker. Like to me was
Scary.
yeah creepy, but like a
Which one
normal
was the Tim Burton Joker?
was like
Jack
a,
Nicholson.
Jack
Was it? Okay, gotcha.
like the normal. Like this is I like that storyline for him, but and then you got the Heath Ledger Joker, which obviously like is I feel like the
Still,
yeah
in spite of Joaquin
Transcendent.
Phoenix's best effort, it is still
Which
Heath
was,
Ledger.
and I really, really did enjoy
was great.
that. It was great. But to me, I love everything about Nolan and Ledger's Joker. Like, that is, it just like embodies that whole, like, you don't know who he is, you don't know why he's doing this, you don't know what the fuck, like, about anything.
Right.
And then, like, that you get that line that some men just want to watch the world burn. Like, that is like, that's the Joker, and that's all you can explain from it.
Yeah,
so.
that was my only problem. I didn't watch Joker, but I want to watch the movie Joker. But that was my big issue with it coming out early, because his Joker was never able, and it's such an interesting part of film where he was never able to get a backstory. Like, he was, boom, he's now in the timeline as that guy. And you are going to, it's like Rey in Star Wars. You're going to pretend all these things, and in the end, well, they found out it was fucking Palpatine. But my point is, like, you're supposed to be like, I think it's this with the Joker, but you never know. That is so impressive to just stick a character, boom, and have it be good to go.
Well, and he gives 3 backstories.
Yeah, and then he
That's-
gives you
yeah.
the maid. And that's what it's like. You never know, like, what.
Exactly.
That's what was.
Which he just sits there and prepares horrific backstories. That's
Right.
terrifying alone. So
I think DC, to further elaborate on kind of the avenue Boyd was going down, for the exception of the Joker, most of them is what you see is what you get.
yeah,
Now, there's an endless supply of them. They're all very cool. They look cool. They have cool names, Killshot, you know.
The best comparison is they are just wrestling jobbers.
Absolutely.
There's-
Well, yeah. in
Mr.
every-
Freeze is Glacier. Like that. It's,
Right.
I love Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh man,
That was my movie growing
I
up.
think
so many one-liners.
I think you're right. And every time they try to twist,
you just
one-
need to chill out.
right? Oh my god, yeah. Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy in that movie, which yes,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, right?
Well, no,
No, that was
she's Batgirl.
Oh,
yeah.
Who's Catwoman in
Halle
that
Berry.
series?
Halle Berry is.
No, in
it's
that
not-
series.
it took me a
in the
long
Tim
time to
Burton
find out it
movies.
Oh, in the Burton ones.
I can't remember. It's not important.
Oh, I don't remember her
It's
name.
all right. We'll move on. All right.
I'm gonna look
So
that up, though.
that kind of leads into Marvel has a deep roster of bad guys, but not all of them are human. In fact, most of Marvel's big bads are from space. This creates an interesting predicament between the heroes and the villains. Also interesting enough, Marvel likes to pit its heroes against each other.
Chada.
For example, Park the Car. For example, in a lot of comics...
Smack Pack.
Smack Pack.
Michelle Pfeiffer was Catwoman.
Oh,
Wait, then who
Bam.
was? I'm sorry, who was?
Batgirl? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Just
You
keep
do
looking
that.
at. All right. In a lot of comics, the Hulk is actually a bad guy. The Avengers are forced to fight. Even stapled-on heroes like Tony Stark and Captain America end up battling each other over moral beliefs. I think the most interesting thing about Marvel's villains
Alicia Silverstone.
There you go.
are that
Meow.
they normally carry
No, she
a
was
moral
Batgirl.
compass. So Marvel's bad guys carry a moral compass. Guys like Thanos, Killmonger are considered bad because their ideas are different. But the ideas that they are fighting for aren't necessarily wrong. Killmonger wanted to take Wakanda's advanced technologies and sell it to the outside world, allowing Wakanda to become an international power and better the lives of its citizens. The tech from Wakanda could have helped out a lot of people. Thanos wanted to help everyone by creating a surplus of resources. To Thanos' credit, he saw a way to create bliss through eliminating half the universe.
Yeah.
He maybe did it the wrong way, but still, his intentions are in a generally good direction. What are your thoughts about Marvel's bad guys?
It's funny because it's like with Superman and Batman, it's not, okay, I finished this guy who's talking to him. It's like, all right, I beat up this guy. Oh, that guy's robbing a bank. I'm going over there.
Right.
With Marvel, it's stacked. Everything is so layered that once a villain, like Gamora is defeated, they have a chance to help. Like, and that I think is interesting. But and then you get into, like, you're talking about moral lines, like the X-Men. That whole bad guys is a
Right.
great moral
Right.
code in there because they're like, we're superior. We should go out there and kill them. So I love Marvel's bad guys a lot.
And really, the X-Men is a great storyline in amongst itself, right? So, mutants exist.
Yes.
Okay? And there's 2 rival factions of mutants.
Rival.
Rival factions of mutants. and they're
Yes.
battling each other.
Ichada.
Well, also battling public opinion. That kind of layering is not apparent in most DC,
Not to be
worlds.
trifled
Not
with.
at all.
and it really is in Marvel. And I think that's, shows that have a single star that carries the show are always great shows. But an ensemble cast will always win out. And Marvel, on both sides of the coin, has an ensemble cast. And because they do so much character work with all of their characters, occasionally you have team-ups even with bad guys and good guys, where you have a bad guy like Loki join forces with the Avengers because he realizes that Thanos is way worse than what he's dealing with, right? I mean, that kind of stuff doesn't happen as much in the DC world. It's still very black and white, 70s pro wrestler. Like, there's a good guy and a bad guy, and they fight because they're good and bad. Marvel's a lot more grays. It's a lot more like Stone Colds and The Rocks. They're both technically bad and good guys at the same time.
I mean, one of the greatest Marvel movie characters was bad, and that's Winter Soldier. Like, obviously, brainwashed a little bit, but the fact is you have a guy that is literally the bad guy in a movie that they are trying to kill, now one of the better liked Marvel characters of a generation.
Absolutely.
It's got a great arc, that's why. They know how to write their characters with a great arc.
Sure. He's got a good arc because he only has one arm, so he's lopsided, so every time he throws a tie up.
Arc, yeah.
So who are we giving the edge to here? Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Even though I think the Joker and Lex Luthor are like, wow.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor is not even...
Yeah, but the point about Lex Luthor is everyone else they fought like had a gimmick or a thing. He's just a rich dude. And
I think, too, you can walk up to somebody and say Lex Luthor, and they at least know the name.
Yeah.
You walk up to somebody and you say, like, Magneto, they might not know the name.
I will say, though,
Magneto's probably not a good
No. I know what you mean.
point there, but you know what I mean.
I love Venom, another conflicted.
Venom's a great bad guy, too.
Yeah.
And Venom goes back to what I was talking about earlier. He's technically from outer space.
Carnage.
Yep.
Which is, it really, and it maybe is something that Marvel falls into too much, is the foreign invader, right? Even like
Yeah, but they love it because
Red
then they
Skull.
can create whatever they want.
Exactly.
So it's an open-ended amount of options.
Right.
And they've made...
A plethora, if you will.
Ooh.
I will. Oh.
Going on my list.
I really
spell
hope I'm
later.
not having to spell that later.
Do we have to be able to spell the words?
No, I don't think so.
good.
As long as somebody can tell me whether or not it's right. All right. So we're going to give advantage to Marvel.
Yes.
Marvel.
Blockbuster Battle Royale.
I should have watched Aquaman before this.
Man.
Yeah. You know what? I haven't seen it.
Me neither.
Just general thoughts right now
Okay.
about
Have
the...
you
About
seen
these
Aquaman?
two, it's not even close. There's not even a conversation.
Yeah, there's not even a conversation.
Outside of the
yet.
Christopher Nolan movies, I mean, I loved Wonder Woman. I did. I thought it was cool. I'm excited for the second one.
I
Chris
thought it
Pine's
was
character-
okay till they got off the island.
DC has been...
And then it was great.
And then it was terrible.
What, like Lost?
Chris Pine was awesome. But
On the island, off the island. When they
Yeah.
got off
Oh,
the island.
once
It
they
was-
left the island, I was like, this is
Wonder Woman.
all right.
I know. It was
It's just...
That might never...
you're good.
Yeah.
You're smarter than me.
Anywho, like, DC has just struck out so many times with
Right.
the
Yes.
films. Even dating back to, as I said, the Joel Schumacher Batman movies, which were
Yeah.
fucking god-awful.
Yep.
And, you know, I feel like they just go on these, like, hot and cold streaks because it's, like, obviously, like, the Tim Burton at the time, that Batman, great. But this was obviously before DC Films was even a thing.
Yeah.
Right. That was.
So,
Yeah, it was
and even
independent
Schumacher,
property.
that was Warner Brothers.
Right.
So once like the DC EU started, and they have their own, like they have their own company, correct?
Correct.
Like okay. So I don't know what the first film was that they did.
Superman when he fights the tornado.
Trash. All of the Supermans.
Oh yeah, that's the. So he
The Henry Cavill
literally beats.
all the Henry Cavill Supermans, right?
Right.
That was all
Yeah.
garbage.
So like, who's the big bad in that? Is that Bizarro Superman?
Bizarre. No. Doomsday is in the.
Might have been Bizarro Superman.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So
It's been a while,
He
and
fights
it's
the
not
villain he's been fighting the whole movie,
Yes.
and he beats him. And then a tornado shows up and threatens to destroy Smallville.
Tornado.
So he
shows
like
up.
all of a sudden like fights a tornado.
Oh.
That's how that movie ends. Much like Aquaman ends, where he's fighting.
Spoiler alert.
It's at the beginning of the show.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, do you not want me to tell you?
You can tell
I've
me.
never seen it.
Okay.
We haven't seen it.
All right. So he's fighting the big bad, the guy he's been battling all movie, and then at one point,
King Neptune.
La 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 la.
at one point, Jason Momoa. And yeah, I know I say Mimosa. I say it on purpose now. Jason Momoa goes, "Hey man,
Samoas.
why do you hate me?" And then the big bad goes, "You speak my language." And then they're friends, and the fighting just stops. That's how the movie ends.
So it's like when he says Martha in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally...
Martha May.
And that movie made
Who?
$1.5 billion.
Who? Aquaman or
Aquaman.
Well, it's Momoa.
And it was so
His first solo movie.
they leaked the movie getting made on Entourage a couple of years before.
Yeah, Vinny Chase.
Oh.
Adrian Grenier.
I didn't know that.
So, yeah.
All right, so let me just blow through this real quick.
Blow
Both
by.
Marvel and DC have stepped into the movie world. Aquaman holds its title of the highest-grossing DC film at $1.5 billion. Avengers
Saw it
Endgame
first.
is the highest-grossing movie, not just in comic book history, but of all time at $2.7 billion
I could have
worldwide.
swore Small Women beat it.
It was close.
I'm just kidding.
Do you need another beer?
I do.
Beer me that disc.
Beer you that disc? All right. One moment.
I mean,
This is awkward. All right, so now we're into the DC cinematic universe. When DC was in a universe, they had a universe of characters and did things.
and
Boys'
here we are.
thoughts.
Boys, let's have some thoughts.
Intern,
From
show
the bench.
curator, producer. Really just a litany of titles.
Actor, comedian,
With the exception,
researcher, novelist.
with the exception of two
Paul's a
pretty
real
estate. Just
good
gonna flex on
Batman
everybody,
iterations, DC has struggled to find consistent footing in this arena. Wonder Woman and Joker were well received. Aquaman made a lot of money, but they never seemed to make it to the same level of Marvel. Perhaps it's their lack of depth of heroes. What happened?
Oh,
I'm sorry, I was
that's
asking what
Justice
their
League.
Justice League. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember what their movie.
Yeah, Justice
I'm
League.
sorry.
Perhaps it's their lack of heroes that hold them back, or their poor management.
Yes, they have no Kevin Feige, so therefore they suck.
Kevin Feige is a god. Literally, it's just written across the top of the paper. Plain and simple, he has stirred Marvel and Disney to box office success time after time, while getting the most out of his big-name players, while breathing life into lesser-known characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther, and Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
At this point, Disney has a multi-billion-dollar arm in Marvel movies alone. And as we stare down the barrel of a new MCU, we can't imagine this juggernaut stopping anytime soon, pun intended. Especially since everyone's favorite Mutant Academy is now back under Marvel control.
Yeah, after freaking Wolverine died.
It's pretty freaking awesome.
So upset.
But we've kind of... Do you have anything else that you want to add about the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Just how much
It's
you
one
love
of those
it?
things that, like I was showing you video game stuff, Marvel Cinematic Universe transcends comic book culture.
Yes.
It is a forefront for pop culture.
When you were watching, so we kind of have your background a little bit on where you live in comic book world, where your base is. What is yours? Are you like diehard comic guy, like just kind of pop culture? Like where do you live?
So I read a lot of comics, not as many as I would have liked to. My uncle was really into them, so
Yeah.
I've read them. I've read them like online and stuff, but I kind of fell off for a few years, and then I think like right around when like the Nolan Batmans and even the like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Those are still so good. Spider-Man 2 of that series is really
great.
a perfect.
Is that the Venom one?
It's
That's
no,
Doc
that's
Ock.
Doc Ock. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
really
wow.
great one. 3 is just awful.
It's not great.
It's pretty bad.
It's not great.
It's pretty bad.
He was a good Spider-Man.
It was a great Spider-Man.
He's no Andrew Garfield.
I'm sorry, he's a good Peter Parker.
There
Maybe
you
not
go.
a great Spider-Man, but a great Peter Parker.
Pizza's here.
Pizza time.
Pizza time. That's it. Yeah, but that got me back into it. But I as of late, I've just been more. I saw the first Iron Man in theaters like probably 7 or 8 times because I was like, this is they
first one was so
fucking
good.
have something here.
Right.
And then you get that fucking post credit scene with Samuel and the Nick Fury scene, and I was like, no, like this
is happening.
is gonna be a thing.
Right.
And man, was it great. And it was even like, I wasn't really a big Captain America fan, but that shit made me like
They
a
literally-
huge captain, like literally brought him up the list.
That
for
movie
me.
was so good.
And they literally changed movie culture with the end cut scene,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Like now, every movie you stay through the credits because you're just not sure.
I Google it when the movie ends.
Yeah.
To see.
Same.
I also do want to add though that I think even their one-off movies, and I guess one-off's the wrong term, but like I could have lived without Thor Ragnarok, but it
What?
was awesome.
Oh, I could have lived without the fucking Dark World, brother.
See, I like.
But that's
Dark
what no,
World.
but like what I'm saying is
I know
like,
it's a trash movie, but I like
what-
Dark World.
I love Ragnarok
Ragnarok.
because it's very arcadey and you find out a little bit about Hulk, but there's like it's not Captain America or even the first Thor or you know what I mean? It's not like one of these movies that's solidifying a storyline. Even those movies are must-sees.
Right.
So
Right.
I mean, he loses an eye.
I get
Becomes
that.
the fucking like
But what I'm
true
like-
god of thunder without the hammer. Was literally like,
Yeah, but it didn't carry that well over. He still had to go get Nats
yeah, he went and got Stormbreaker. It's from the comics. All of it's from the
in
comics.
the movies.
But I'm saying like that all happened in the comics.
Okay,
That's
well,
why
you told me I wasn't allowed
did
to talk about the comics because the
I
comics are
didn't
different than the movies.
say couldn't talk about the comics. I'm just saying that's what happens.
I think for comic book diehards,
I want to go home.
You are home.
and for people who have been
Shit.
in that Marvel universe forever, hearing Captain America in Endgame say "Avengers Assemble," like I was ugly crying.
He like whispered it.
It did, but that almost made it better. Assemble. Because he knew it was going to happen. And, like, when he picks up the hammer
would've been
and
corny if
he's
he yelled it.
worthy. And, like, there was just so much of that movie. I literally cried 8 times. Because it had nothing to do with, like, the storyline. It had everything to do with the chills that I was getting
Yeah,
from
just
seeing.
the culmination of everything. It was so
They did a good
amazing.
job of showing each actor and character too.
And,
There's shit in there that you go back and rewatch that like when Ant-Man when he blows up to Giant Man, I didn't realize it, but that Spider-Man is swinging
Yeah.
from Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And it's so sick. It's like
That's awesome.
Like shit like
He, like,
that is
throws him.
badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like the Wasp like comes through like a little ass like hole like this big, and then like that shit's I love that.
But
Little
that's
attention to detail.
that's Kevin Feige being a comic book guy and getting the reins of the greatest, in my opinion, comic book franchise ever. And he's and doing it for the better part of his beginning and tenure without the 2 biggest characters in Marvel history, Wolverine and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Spider-Man was there.
Not
immediately.
originally.
Oh, I know what you're talking.
He didn't show up until Civil War, brother. It was
Right.
the first time you
I
got to
thought
see
we were
him.
talking about. I'm sorry.
No,
well,
but
yeah,
like
but
the
but-
MCU was already a
MCU.
juggernaut by the time we got to Civil War.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
we had
yeah.
already had Guardians. We had already had two
But that
Captain
was
America
like
movies.
that
That
was
was-
like
yeah.
the I don't even like to say that first Hulk movie is a part of it, but you do get that Tony Stark scene
Yeah.
Right.
at the end, which kind of makes it like a necessary.
Right.
Not really a fan of that movie, but like that and the first Iron Man, it's just like
I also think though it's interesting that one I can think of off the top of my head character changed in the entire MCU, and I
Right.
feel like there's going to be
Well,
a
and
fifth Batman.
it'll be interesting here
the only
because
one that
now
changed was Rhodey.
as we
Technically
Hulk too.
Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, too. I'm sorry. I thought we were already.
I'm sorry. I got you.
But we're gonna run into some problems because Chris Evans is
no.
also Johnny Flame.
Yeah. But then we can just
Not in the existing MCU, but it is a thing they will need to address.
I think that they just bring back the Miles Teller ones.
I mean, Deadpool was Green Lantern, so
And someone else. He was a third one, I think.
what superhero?
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was Deadpool and the Wolverine spinoff. Where
Yeah.
technically
Yeah.
that was Deadpool before, but it was. I'm sorry.
It was a
It was
Okay.
depressing
goober
Deadpool.
trash.
Trash pool.
The ratings battle If Marvel has a stiff upper hand in movies, DC attempts to make up for it with their television series, highlighting lesser-known franchises. The Green Arrow, Gotham, and Flash have all
show.
seen success on the small screen.
Sure have.
What's your favorite DC critically acclaimed television show?
I don't think I've seen any.
You're missing out, brother.
Wait, what is? No, that's not it.
I will say that I love The Flash.
Yeah.
I loved Gotham. I didn't like it at first, and then I really got into it, and that's a great show.
Are you a Green Arrow guy too, or no?
Oh yeah,
Greg Malick's a huge
The
Green Arrow guy.
second season of Green Arrow is quite possibly the best comic book, like, I don't want to say like adaptation, but it is so fucking good, and it's with Deathstroke, and you get
It's the CW, right?
yeah, you
That's so
get
interesting.
what is that guy's name that plays Deathstroke? I can't remember. Something Manu, or I can't remember his name. But he's fucking awesome, and he plays like literally an incredible Deathstroke, and that season is so good.
Better than Will
and-
Smith? Isn't he Deathstroke?
Yes.
No, he's Killshot.
He's Killshot. Who does play Deathstroke in the movie though? Or they don't have it?
It's just Killshot.
That's a good point
Wait,
too.
I
'cause
thought there was isn't
Manu
there a,
Bennett.
Manu Bennett.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Chicago.
Isn't there a Deathstroke
Lord.
teaser at the end of
Suicide Squad?
Justice League or Suicide something? Like on a boat. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I'm not sure. I could be. But I swear there was like a Deathstroke teaser.
I mean,
at
they
the
very well
end of
could.
at the end of one of these DC movies.
I know we covered it already, but I didn't know if. And I'm going to go back a little bit. But do you have anything in there of DC's outside, like movies or Marvel's outside TV shows? And I'll explain what I mean. But he wrote in Constantine was the best.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Because that's like a different, but it is.
No, I
DC.
mean that's worth digging into. We can do that now, unless you or finish your thoughts on the DC.
I've
television shows.
never seen Constantine, but I know what you're talking about. Like the shows that are. I'm trying to think of the one Marvel.
Like
one
the
they
one I'm
just
thinking of
did.
right now is Preacher. That was
Yeah,
done by
yeah,
Seth
yeah.
Rogen on AMC.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. That's like so extended that you're like, oh, like Jessica Jones and like they're getting.
Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are in major Avengers comic book series, so I
Okay.
don't know how.
Because my favorite's
there they are.
Daredevil, which I know we're getting to Marvel's
Right,
TV
right,
shows.
right.
But there are iterations of things where my brother would be like, "Oh yeah, that's DC." I'm like, "No shit." Like I think that's cool about
But
all those.
they're not. So Preacher in particular was, I believe, its own comic book, got bought by DC, and then got folded into Superman or Batman. It wasn't its own. Like, it wasn't an original DC property.
Gotcha.
It got folded into DC, and I think belongs to DC. Because I think technically Dark Horse Comics is owned by Marvel. So if you want to get into it, Walking Dead is a Marvel production.
Oh my god, it's a zombie.
Storylines could be
That
crazy.
I would end it in the way that's like, yo, and next week we got Bruce Banner.
Next week, Wolverine's going to take care of all this problem.
yeah. Wolverine just comes out. Punisher, best Marvel TV show.
Carl, Wolverine's coming.
But
Yeah.
you must watch Arrow.
Yeah, Arrow's.
The first two
And
seasons.
Stephen
at
Amell
least.
is really great.
I
He is
love-
great.
so if
I
we're
just
gonna-
I'd literally just watched the series finale today.
I mean, Teen Titans.
Absolutely, Teen Titans is
And
an
Green Arrow
amazing
was
cartoon.
in Teen Titans, and him and
Yep.
Robin. It was like the challenge of all
Yep.
the best people, and they were fighting. It was amazing.
And that one, and what I love about Teen
They're
Titans,
going to do a live action Teen Titans.
I hope they do.
They,
I-
they,
It's
sorry.
in
Oh,
the
really?
books,
It's in
yeah.
production, yeah.
So that was
It's not
interesting.
going to be called Teen Titans,
Cyborg's Justice League,
Yeah,
but he's also Teen Titan.
right.
Seems a little sucky for my dude Robin.
So Robin is Justice League at one point. In the death of Batman, he then takes his place as Nightwing.
Yeah, Nightwing's cool.
And I do believe that's when Cyborg joins, right? Cyborg's a late ad.
Yeah, it's
So and that's with all comic books, and it's hard in the New 52, and the
Yeah,
number
you
of
go on
times
for
they've
hours.
rebooted the DCU is insane. But it's really it's really interesting. All right, so final thoughts. DC, great, right? All right. here's where Marvel gets into this. Marvel attempts at TV shows have been flawed. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., The Punisher have all been good, but not great. Where Marvel has a dog in this fight is its animated line. Everyone remembers amazing animated series Spider-Man and X-Men, plus kid shows like Avengers Assemble have had a 6-year run on Disney XD.
Was Static Shock Marvel? That was a Marvel thing? I like Static Shock.
There's I think where Marvel is at its best is in an animated world. There's also a series out there on Netflix. Well, it's probably not on Netflix anymore. But basically what they did was they took a short run of comics and they animated them, but not like this really intense animation. Almost like an anime like thing where just the mouths move and then like there's a little bit of fighting. But there's a great line from Iron Man in that. There's a great Captain America one. They're worth looking up. I can't remember the names of them right now. I feel like when Marvel's at its best on the small screen, it's when it's animated.
So I just realized Cyborg was on that picture because I thought that it was her and her leg.
Wait.
Or not
That's
Cyborg, Cyclops. Thank you. Because I thought she was in like a huddle to hike the ball back with her hand out, and that the line of her pants was the yellow on him, and his peck was her butt.
Damn, I didn't.
I
didn't even realize.
Wolverine.
No.
Oh, no, Beast.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was down there.
Yeah, but like I thought she was like a center.
I see what
just
you're saying.
pointing out, and
Yeah.
like her butt was his peck. Oh man, the second he popped up, I was like, oh my god.
There's Cyclops.
That was.
Oh my
And
god!
really, that's how everyone should look at Cyclops. Is like he's like, oh shit, Cyclops is there.
It's Cyclops.
Ah.
Oh, man. He's so
This got
inconvenient.
worse.
He's like, I can't look. I kill everyone. It's like that's a terrible power.
Jane, where are you?
It's basically the Velma. Of
Oh,
the
he's
comic.
my glasses.
My glasses. I'm gonna kill everyone without my glasses.
I know Taika Waititi is busy, but if he could direct that scene in the first X-Men thing where he's like stumbled around like looking for shit.
Guys.
James Gunn could do that. They should let James Gunn do
Yeah.
that. Like where Peter Quill like takes his
Yeah.
band from him or something. That'd be great.
I liked Daredevil.
Loved.
Great. It was great. But
He was so good.
is it better than Green Arrow? Is it better than Gotham?
In some ways,
I think Daredevil was the other one.
I mean, all right.
But Daredevil was.
Let's be real, and let's again. It comes back to DC
Right.
and the shows, and I know it's on the CW. Obviously, it's
No.
they're campy.
Don't you dare say a word wrong about the CW.
I
Riverdale
knew
for
it was-
life.
I knew it. I had a feeling.
In this episode of this season of Sabrina, they go
This
to
episode of
Riverdale.
Idiot Hour brought to you by Riverdale. Thank you.
That is our show. We'll see you guys next week on the Idiot Hour. So Sabrina the Teenage.
So
ER.
in this season of
Very
Sabrina, they
sassy.
went to Riverdale. I was doing laps
The
around
new
my living room.
Sabrina,
Yeah,
the Netflix Sabrina.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I haven't gotten into it.
I'm just a
I heard
sucker.
it's scary.
Because they're the same.
I watched a couple episodes.
They're the same universe too.
Yeah.
Riverdale and
Riverdale
Sabrina.
and Brina.
So like they're neighbor cities. Greendale is right next to Riverdale, and like this, they go to. It's great.
Is
And you
that
see the
real
bunker.
or is it just from the show?
Greendale.
Like,
Oh no, yeah.
Okay.
So Archie Comics.
yes,
Sabrina is a character from Archie Comics.
thought so. Not
Canon.
this like sadistic
Canon.
Sabrina
Oh, yeah.
show. Okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
she's
So
all, like-
she's a witch in Archie Comics.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she's
a
a
witch.
I hear these ones are
a
dark.
teenage one at that.
Yes.
That explains the title.
No, because it's not. The new one isn't called
It's the
that.
chaotic.
Dummy.
Or I'm sorry.
No.
Teenage chaotic.
No,
What
it's
is
the
it?
other one.
Chaos is the acronym. Anyway, move on.
Anywho,
Chaos.
Daredevil was great. Luke Cage was great. I think they were great.
Luke
and
Cage
here's
is my boy too.
I think that the production of all of the Marvel shows is just like it far surpasses the DC shows. But just some of the storylines you get on the DC shows are like literally that second season of Arrow is phenomenal. The first season of Flash, fucking phenomenal. With the Reverse Flash and I can't remember dude's name.
Lost.
Can't remember dude's name. Tom
okay.
something.
Sawyer.
I'm sure somebody's going to chime in here with a comment, hopefully, to remind me of his name. Tom Cavanaugh, that's his name. He is fucking, man, he's awesome. And he plays like so many different characters on The Flash, and it's great.
Yeah, Colorado, you better run away, bitch.
But If you haven't seen them, watch Arrow, watch The Flash, watch the first 3 seasons of Arrow
Okay.
before you watch The Flash because they intertwine. That's what's great about it.
Sounds.
And then there's
great.
crossover.
I love
They just
having
had a
homework.
great crossover. They just had literally the biggest television crossover for like a comic book, and it was the Crisis on Infinite Earth crossover.
The biggest crossover for a comic book on television.
Yeah.
I don't-
It's 5 hours essentially. 5 episode crossover to do a comic book storyline called Crisis on Infinite Earth.
That's kind of cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
No, I have not gotten into the DC
Pussy.
TV stuff yet.
All right then. Guess I'm just talking to myself here.
No, well, you were talking to Michael, and then he left because he's, pulling the nerd card on everybody.
That's fine.
If he would have watched the beginning of the show, he would have known that we're keeping it mainstream, but that's fine.
Mainstream.
Finally, I want to bring up this topic.
Topic.
Icon status can be held only by a select few. Superman logo itself is one of the most recognizable logos around the world. The large S transcends language. Batman is so cool that there's literally a meme that simply states, always be yourself. Unless you can be Batman, always be Batman.
He's rich.
However, it isn't Batman or Superman that is a featured balloon in the Macy's Day Parade. That honor belongs to Spider-Man. Wolverine is common symbol reference in pop culture, whether it's the nickname of an athlete or a nod to everyone's favorite Canadian and a clever clothing choice. The X-Men's most popular member is littered throughout pop culture. Which brand holds the true icon status for comic books?
It's funny because there was a Under Armour did a bunch of superhero stuff, and they did both DC and Marvel. So they had the Captain America shield, they had Iron Man's glowing, they had the S, they had the Batman logo. The interesting thing for me and the reason that I'm going DC is because when AJ Burnett was pitching for us, we put the Batman logo up. You know what I mean? Like there's something with that. With Spider-Man, there's nothing that is like, oh, look, that's Spider. It's his face. I mean, and that couldn't be something, but it's that face look and the eye cut with Wolverine, the claws, but like it's a very specific.
It's their masks that is
Yeah.
the logo, not a logo.
Yeah. So that's why for me with Icon, it's DC despite Marvel's.
DC's branding is just like they have the logo, even like the fucking Green Lantern logo. Like I mean that is
know what that is.
Yeah, like that's a recognizable thing, and it's like all of the Marvel logos, I guess if you will, aren't even it's like the character's name. Like that's what's iconic with them is the names of the characters. And I mean, yes, Superman and Batman as well, but it's like you hear Spider-Man, you know who Spider-Man is, you know who Wolverine is, X-Men, like anything like that, Captain America, Iron Man, all that you know now because of what the DC or the Marvel movies have done over the last 10 years.
Sure.
Prior to that, I don't think a lot of people would be like, you know, even without, you know, Superman and Batman have just been like a staple, especially with the logos. I remember when I was young, I had a Superman ring. And I barely knew who I was like 6 or 7. I didn't really know who Superman was, but I was like, I knew who Superman was, and I was like the Superman logo on this ring, like that, you know. So
I think it's really, I've never thought about it in that regard, but like when you go to buy a Marvel poster, right? And if you want the most simple Marvel poster ever, it's their mask with their colors. Yep. It's not a logo. It's not them. It's their mask with the colors, the outline of their mask, or the outline of them, right? Whereas, you're right, Superman, Batman, even Wonder Woman, all of the DC main characters have this incredible, iconic logo.
Flash, yeah, the Bolt.
Yeah.
Like it's
a good point. All right, so let's dive in to the draft board. So, I have one question.
Look at that go.
Just one.
Yeah. Are we drafting
Yes.
the quote-unquote nameless fighters? So, for example, if we were doing a Ninja Turtles 1, the Foot Clan, can you take all of the Foot Clan? Because there's not one foot soldier.
So, yeah.
So are you asking?
You can't take Justice League.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't take...
I take the Avengers as my first overall.
Right, yeah. You can't take the group, but if they're a bunch of...
Revengers.
If they're a nameless fighting group, like it's the Skrulls or something like that, are you allowed to take that?
Are we having a fight?
Yeah, what's the
course.
end game here? Like,
It's
we're
got to be a
building
fight.
The best team.
It's got to be a fight.
You said Endgame. What's the DC universe version of Endgame? Was there one? Where it was like the culmination of just... Because I know there are separate...
Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. It's
than
like
the new 52.
the whole like existence of the
Is that where
universe
Superman dies?
is Superman's.
He comes back. I think he's dead to
I
start.
just remember
it,
the
and then he
iconic
comes
picture of
back.
all the DC guys and they're pushing him off into space. But anyways, okay.
He
let's do this.
dies because I think Lex Luthor. Well, I don't know if that's just a. I don't know. Anyway.
Kryptonite. Also, how easily obtainable was kryptonite? Everyone.
I mean, if you got to the planet,
everyone had it.
Krypton.
Yeah, thank you. All right.
Who goes first? Who went first last week?
We did conspiracy theory. Did we do a draft last week?
we did invading.
Thank you.
Fair 51.
I went
storming.
third.
Did I go first?
You went first.
Yeah, because you took.
Because I was. So I go
Chuck
last
Norris.
this week though,
Okay.
because I was.
If Josh, well, Josh.
So I go first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go middle.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
you're okay.
Okay, so I got first.
That's what I was gonna say. I didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
Well, be yourself. But if you can't be yourself, be Batman.
All right. So
You want me to take-
That's got to be. I mean,
just-
that's. He's got to be.
are there any
number one.
guidelines here? Like,
Yeah,
Can we
like-
take villains?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Why? Like, if you're not trying to take Joker in the top 2 rounds, I don't know what anyone's doing.
I mean, if we're having a fight,
I don't know if I want Joker as a fighter.
Huh? Well,
He's a good like one-off.
If you have
awesome
if you
person.
have some strategy behind it, like I would imagine Juggernaut from X-Men would probably be a good pick, right? He's just like a big killing machine, that kind of thing.
I suppose. I will take the. I want to see what you do because that'll decide how crazy I'm going to go. But I'm going to go with Wolverine. He can't die, so
It's true.
I mean he did, but you know he can't. And Wolverine is like, for me, that is like the coolest guy. Especially when like they asked him to be in, I forget the first one where they went back in time, and they asked him to be in it, and he said no. And they're like, what if just a scene? And they walk in, and he's like, hi, I'm Jay. He's like, fuck off. And they walk out of the bar. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So it's not First Class. It's the first one where they're younger, and Professor X is younger, and Magneto's younger,
Okay.
and Jennifer Lawrence is.
There's so many I can't remember all
It's
the
the very
names.
first one. but
Days of Futures Past.
So yes,
There you
so
go.
It's maybe it's the second one, but they're recruiting people for their school,
Right, right.
And they walk into Wolverine at a bar, and he's saying there, and they go like, "Hey, I'm blah blah blah, I'm blah blah," blah. And he goes, "Fuck off." That's the only way he was going to be in that movie, is if he could say whatever he wanted in that moment, and he said it, and you can see both other actors laughing, James McAvoy and I forget the other's name, but laughing as they walked out.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he was in the movie, is because he's like, I'll be in it, but I'm not actually being in it. Like I just want to say this, and they're like, yeah, cool, you're Hugh Jackman, do whatever you want.
Does Hugh Jackman come back as Wolverine in the new MCU?
They were talking to somebody. I
Doubt
forget
it.
who was.
As old Logan?
I doubt it.
I think he's done.
be so
Dude, the death wasn't just for the character. It was for Hugh
It's for Hugh
Jackman's
Jackman too.
iteration.
All right. Okay. Boyd, you're up for 2.
This is not just movies, right? This is comic books,
Comic
like
books,
all
everything.
together.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna just. All right, I'm gonna take Iron Man first off.
That's it. I feel like we'll all start with pretty.
I mean, dude figured out time travel. You know.
I think Bruce Banner did.
Technically.
Yeah, but Tony figured out the how
equation.
to do it. Yeah, the equation to do it.
Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. I got you.
And then I'm going to take. This is hard. I'm gonna go Doctor Doom.
That is a good one. He's so strong.
Okay, Derek, you're up.
Silver Surfer.
Fuck.
I
was gonna take
He
him.
is like the strongest character on the face of the goddamn earth.
Fuck. I was
literally
like,
his-
maybe
he's-
he'll fall back to me.
No, dude, because there's like I know the like 3 big powerhouse ones, and that was the biggest injustice I think to the
To
whole series.
Infinity War, yeah,
is
for
because if
100%.
you want the comic book I was getting read through, like he is it.
He's the reason.
He is
Yeah.
it. So
Man, I can't believe this guy fell to me. Spider-Man.
Oh.
Duh.
I can't.
yeah, both my guys would kill Spider-Man.
I was gonna take him over Doctor Doom. And
Dude, I could feel it, and that's why I said I wanted to see how out there you were going.
Oh, I get
Yeah,
2, yeah?
Yes.
All right.
He's like, man, I can't believe Rocket the Raccoon failed me.
Dude, you guys let Ant-Man fall to me. This is crazy.
I got the Wasp. I got the Wasp.
To be fair,
Ant-Man
is actually one of the original Avengers, for those of you who may not know.
Fun fact.
Paul
Paul Rudd. I would kind of just want to take Paul Rudd as.
Can I take Paul Rudd? Okay, so I think... Give me Mr. Fantastic.
Oh.
Stretchy guy.
Yes.
Dr. Reed, first off, let's just call him that, can we?
You're the PhD guy.
And he's arguably as smart as Tony Stark.
Arguably.
Arguably.
I could say, yeah.
Allegedly.
I would not say that he is, but he's in that realm with Dr. X as being like the 3 smartest guys on the planet kind of thing. And since Iron Man's taken, I'd like Mr. Fantastic.
Okay.
Derek.
I am stuck between 2, so I'm going for the one that I think is more powerful, and that is Adam Warlock.
Fucking dickhole. Fuck.
Love this. Adam Warlock, Josh, do you know about his cocoon?
I'm well aware of who Adam Warlock is.
You know about his cocoon? No, I thought that was one of the cooler Easter eggs that they still have not touched on yet.
They're not going to.
You don't think?
You don't
They
think?
might. They might in Guardians 3, maybe, since Gunn's coming back for it.
Yeah. But it was one of those things where you see it and you like I had to Google and I was like, oh my god, Adam Warlock came out of a cocoon. Like I had never.
It's pretty tight.
But he's also
The
him and Silver
perfect
Surfer
thing.
are the people that
Right.
save the entire universe.
Right.
So I'm doing pretty good.
I would say you're doing pretty great with Silver Surfer and Adam Warlock. And
That's
who's your
close.
first?
I'm not done
What
yet.
happened there? My bad.
You blew
Sorry,
it.
everybody. Well, it's not the first time. Boyd, up
Me
for 2.
Me for 2.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna go Doctor Strange.
It was him or Warlock for me.
Strange. Now this is hard because now I have.
Is that who you thought he was dropping to you, Josh? Back again?
I thought.
Okay.
Well, it was either him or Mr. Fantastic, and I went with Mr. Fantastic instead.
Yeah, I think that's.
All right, so this is. Oh man, it's crazy that this dude is still on the list.
There's a lot of Superman's still on the list.
That's my point.
That's your guy.
I don't know if I want to take Superman. I'm just saying like that's who I should take.
Superman is going to be like a 5th overall. It's the 5th round pick. Like
And with
that's
the
not working.
UDFA undrafted free agent,
Superman.
Superman will decide where his future holds.
Yeah. Okay.
I just like if we're. It's weird to me because I.
That wasn't Superman. That's Batman noise.
I like
Meanwhile,
in the Hall of Justice.
in the Hall of Justice.
I love the Flash TV show.
So you're taking the Flash?
No, I'm not done. I'm
geez.
explaining.
I'm sorry.
He's just
I'm,
saying what he
I'm
likes.
just trying to explain that
like
I
Taylor
like
Swift.
the Flash more than Superman. But in this situation, I think I have to take, yes, I'm taking Superman.
I think it's fair.
I mean,
Because I would have taken him.
yeah, I mean,
makes you feel better.
I need to take him because strong.
People are going to be freaking out that Superman's that low, but I don't give a
Probably
shit
get some
anymore.
DC hood rats in
That's another reason I did it.
I don't really want to get DC.
You don't. Like, who are you going to take? Take Lex.
No, he's poop.
There is one guy.
Take Cyber.
You may not trust him.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I
But
don't
you
got this
know-
stupid weird strategy you got.
He's got like scars.
Yeah. He just lights money on fire. The rest of my team's gonna get pissed off. Actually, they all fuck with it because it's too.
I mean, 2 of them are aliens to begin with, and one of them's Canadian. I don't think anyone's getting pissed off there.
Yeah, true. So I want to. I'm interested. I'm like intrigued because I'm gonna take like a really bad guy, but I control him, right?
Can I give you a suggestion? Because I'm not.
I have mine.
I'm not going to take him.
Go ahead.
You know who that is?
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's a good one. I'm not doing it.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm taking Galactus because he eats
okay.
planets and shit.
Yeah, he does.
So that's why, and I have Silver Surfer who can bat him. So
I think that's a great pick.
thank you. He eats planets.
He
I just want to
literally
reiterate.
eats planets.
Yeah, I'd like to reiterate he eats planets.
Wow, that's a great pick. I really love that pick. Shit. That threw me off because now I'm like...
I can buy time. Did you like the person you whispered's representation of him in the movies?
I'm a sucker for him
Yeah.
personally, so yes, but no.
Yeah, I thought he was, like, I liked the actor, I guess, but it portrayed a different, because then you play the video game and you're like, oh, he's like this badass.
Yeah.
Like,
He's way sicker. I'm going to wait to say it till after Josh makes his pick.
So I took Black Bolt, who is king of the Inhumans, and his major power is that he can explode planets with the sound of his voice. He's also part of the Illuminati. My Illuminati scheme blew up because you took Strange and Iron Man. I was going to create the Illuminati as mine, just as
You
my...
took Batman first.
well, you got to take Batman first. If you're the first overall pick and you don't take Batman, like, get off the planet. So I got Black Bolt. I'm torn here because there's what I referenced earlier. I'm not going to take them. Is the Court of Owls. Is a Batman series, and they have these like brainless fighters that are sleeper assassins called the Talons. And I wanted the Talons from the Court of Owls. They're very cool. They're ninja, kind of guys.
So I wonder if he's going to go the same. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so
That'd be interesting.
I'm going to take Jean Grey.
Oh. You're not going to take.
No.
So-
I like it, but I'm not going to take it.
I didn't want you to take it because it's a good pick, but I'm not going to take it because I
Derek,
also have a good
you're
pick.
up.
Do you want to say what you're...
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
talking
yeah,
to
I'm
you.
so sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, he was having he thought he was having a
I'm sorry. I
conversation.
was
It's okay. He's
typing
an
shit in.
Ra's al Ghul.
How
Demon,
could you not take...
Demon Head, brother.
Ra's al Ghul is a...
That's
He's
where
got
I
the
thought-
he's got the
so
Lazarus
That's
pit.
where I thought you were going because you were like, that guy holds like a huge...
Yeah, because you said Court of Owls. I was like, maybe he is going to go this route.
I thought... I could have taken all Batman characters and been very satisfied with myself. Like, I could have walked away with Batman, Joker, Ra's al Ghul, Court of Owls, and, like...
And you would have gotten shit on by the Silver Surfer.
Probably.
I do love my team.
Who would have been my fifth Batman guy?
So I have a muscle.
Yeah, comic book Bane, probably. Comic book Bane's sweet.
Does Galactus count as muscle?
He eats planets.
Eats planets.
I'd like to reiterate that he eats planets. I'm trying to decide if I have this in the bag or not.
I think you got a great list. And your list is, like, with the exception of Wolverine, who can fit in anywhere. Literally, they've put him in every single comic book series ever. Yours is all very the same world.
Yeah.
You got all the best aliens, basically.
Chemistry is a big factor. For
So you might as well throw Thanos in there if you're
So,
just going to go for it.
No, I was looking at my list and I have I got the Spell Dude, I got the He Eats Planets, I got the Silver Surfer, I got the Muscle, and I was gonna double down on Muscle, but as an RIP to Stan Lee, I'm gonna go with the Watcher. Because that was his character across everything. So I get a little insight on your guys' teams because I'm everywhere.
That's a great point. The Watcher is I almost took Dr. X early, where I took Mr. Fantastic because you feel like you need that brainy guy.
Yeah.
So the Watcher is an interesting pick. If I could speculate,
They don't fight, and it's a group of people.
they
Right?
don't get involved.
They don't.
They know, but
So
they never
You're going
know.
down
They never
short-handed,
tell.
basically. You're down a man. But you do have the Silver
I don't think I'm
Surfer
down, man.
and Galactus.
I mean, if-
you have
If
intel.
he goes, I don't fuck with you, I'm gonna.
no, like he's on your team, but he's not going to... Only thing he contributes is like he's intel. Which
That's
is...
all I want.
That's cool.
I got Galactus.
He eats
But
planets.
What I'm getting, the Watchers would
If you
never
hurt.
tell what's going on.
Yeah, but you said I could control them.
Right, you're controlling them. So in this theory, yeah, absolutely, you get.
Okay, good.
you
That's
get
why I
the
asked
Watchers.
about Galactus too. 'cause
Right.
I was
It's
like,
just it's. I guess in my brain, wouldn't be somebody I would think of because they're not involved. Like it's not somebody I think like, oh, I get to manipulate the characters. Therefore,
I can pick another guy.
no, I like the Watchers. I would keep
Not
them.
the Watchmen for anybody at home.
No.
Very different. I cannot believe this guy didn't get picked. Who I was gonna take.
Boyd Marquis.
This is... Oh, man. I was going to take Vision. I was going to take Ultron. but I'm gonna take Dormammu.
Who?
Dormammu?
No idea.
Man,
Oh, I've seen that thing. I just don't know what it is.
He's
I can't believe no one took the Hulk.
kind of a badass.
I mean,
The Hulk is too easy to defeat in some regards. So
I
like,
have my Iron Man. I don't need Banner.
right, like you have,
Easy to defeat.
yeah, because the Hulk in theory like is so easily like tripped up on things. Like first off, if you have like the girl, whoever that is in this universe, right?
Shulk.
Boom, done. Okay, he's useless then. If you have somebody that's big enough to mess with him, like a Galactus, like
Like Thanos did.
Thanos, you know what I
Buried
mean?
him.
Like really,
Self-conscious.
That's true. But he wasn't linked with Banner the way he was in the later movies when he fought Thanos.
I get that. He's super strong, but like at one point in time, they throw him on the moon.
Yeah.
Like they just throw him up there, and he can't do shit about it. Like he's like a giant, powerful baby.
He can't die. That's
Right.
kind of what my thing was with my team. Guys that don't enjoy or do die.
I'm trying to find.
Who does he fight with? Who does Dormammu?
He's a Doctor Strange
Dormammu?
villain.
Ah, okay.
I mean, he's like a otherworldly entity. He's not just a Doctor Strange villain, but
True.
he
That's
does
where-
that. I mean, that's where you see him in the movie. But in the comics, he's like,
he's in the movies.
yeah, he's in Doctor Strange.
Why can't I think of it?
He literally at the very end of the movie, he's like, Dormammu, I've come to make a bargain, like that. At the end,
The guy that's like lighting everything on fire.
Yeah.
the big fucking like
Shit. I haven't seen that movie
existential
in forever.
being.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
He like controls the negative, whatever the fuck he controls. I can't remember.
What does he do?
He'll fuck you up.
No, I'm saying what does Doctor Strange do in the movie? I can't.
Oh, he does a time loop on it, and every time Dormammu kills him, he just comes back.
That's right. That's awesome.
I like these lists a lot because they're not
Jean Grey was a good.
overly heavy.
That was the savior to your team, I think.
Black
Jean
Bolt.
Grey,
Jean
Black
Grey.
Bolt,
The
Black
only issue I have
Bolt.
with your team technically is that like,
Batman. I'm fucking Batman. Fuck you. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
Batman. He's gonna put Jean Grey in his Batman costume.
so. I think I win. Again.
Lie to me.
This is the 6th straight win.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, he's undefeated. All right. So those are the lists for the top 5 Marvel characters. All right. Are you guys excited?
Marvel and DC.
I'm gonna start googling my words.
Words.
Here we go.
Test
Do you want
word.
to go first or second?
I don't care. Do you, I mean, you
So the
have
boys
words.
are going to give me spelling words. And as they're Googling their spelling words, I'm going to tell a quick story.
I'm making sure I can spell them correctly.
In 6th
Yeah.
grade,
That's the thing.
in 6th grade, I was in the 6th grade class spelling bee. In 6th grade, we also had a foreign exchange student from China, Li Ping.
I remember Li.
In the
Shots
first
fired,
round,
Li. I
I was matched up against her. Her word was cat. Mine was octopus.
That's not fair.
I put 2 S's on octopus, and Li Ping somehow magically got cat as people were mouthing the word to her behind the teacher's back.
Wow. So there was a
There's trauma.
Conspiracy.
in
yeah
this.
conspiracy
Yeah.
happening.
So I've been eliminated by a foreign exchange student who could barely say the word cat, let alone spell it in a spelling bee. I believe I'm undiagnosed dyslexic. Like, for real.
Dyslexic.
Dyslexic. So trying to get me to spell is like trying to get a colorblind person to see color.
You do use that a lot, and it has helped me to not make fun of you.
So here I go.
Do we have to have like he has to spell it, right? Or does he get to type it?
I don't care. What do you want to do?
Spell it back to us.
Spell it back to you?
Yeah. Like, because if you look at the
I
keyword,
wish I could give
Yeah, I
you the
feel like
computer
it's
so that you could put the thing on, like the word up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's okay.
It's fine.
Do you want to switch me and I'll like do this and you guys we can go that way?
Yeah, I'll come over there. Just set it up so that I just have. No, we're okay.
All right, we're good. All right,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
because
get rid
if
of
we
test
do
word
it-
then.
Yeah, if we do like a.
Maybe if I can see it. There we go.
Here's
Okay.
what we could do. If
Can't
we do,
see anyway.
because I don't know if anyone's watching right now. If we cut it and clip it,
We could put the word on the bottom. Yeah, of course. All right.
and I can help you out with that.
And I have your X's ready to go. So
know how hard it is for you
so
to
you have 5 words each. You have 5 words each. Okay.
Okay.
And so whoever.
Stump the Schwab.
Right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Your first word
Oh,
is
Jesus.
platypus.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Oh my God. Country of origin.
In Phineas and Ferb, their pet platypus is a spy.
Platypus is a spy. All right, platypus. P L
Great start.
A T P U S S. Platypus.
Platypus.
I missed the letter.
So say the word.
Platypus.
What is in between the plat and the puss?
An A.
No, but at least something. The correct spelling is Platypus.
I never would have gotten that one.
Platypus.
All right.
All right.
Hang on. Let me give Derek one of his X's here. All right.
Loser.
Derek
Writing
got it.
next to the word.
Lehu Hazer.
See, I'm going to start off a little easier, and this is a callback from earlier. Your next word is
Oh, no.
plethora.
Plethora.
It's like a shootout.
I'm Matt Murray in this year. Just a sieve. Plethora. Okay. P L E T H U R A.
Ooh, so sorry. It's Plethora.
Yeah, never would have gotten that one.
I'm in love with this.
Derek, you're back up. You each have gotten me to misspell a word, so.
Okay. Your next word is xylophone.
God, you're an asshole.
Xylophone. X
Great start.
Y L A P H O N E. Xylophone.
Oh, chef. It's an E, not an A. 2 for 2.
If you're going to be an asshole, so am
I mean, these are okay. So these are definitely asshole, but like, they're words that
Most people.
if you asked me to spell it, I feel like I definitely knew platypus.
That's what I mean. I am only doing this if I'm spelling the words correctly
in
myself.
Google. Yeah.
All right.
And I did this one, and I'm kind of surprised. Your next word is pseudonym.
Pseudonym.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I know. Okay.
All right.
Wow.
Here we go. Pseudonym. I feel like it's like an SCY DANOM. No.
Not
I
even
don't
close.
even know that's close.
Pseudonym. Pseudonym.
PY? What the hell?
PS.
Oh, PS.
Sue. Like Psyduck?
Yeah, that's like one of the
tough.
common spelling bee
Okay. All right.
words.
Pseudonym. Derek.
Your next word is endeavor.
Ooh.
Endeavor. EN D EVOR. Endeavor.
One letter off again. It's ENDEAVOR. Loser.
Your next word is intelligence.
I feel like I gotta get this one.
I know.
I know I don't have it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Intelligence. INTELGENCE. Intelligence.
No, I'm so sorry.
No, of course not.
INTELLIGENCE.
The double L.
NCE.
I'm impressed that I got the E's at the end, to be 100%
Yeah.
honest with you.
I thought you had it before I realized that you didn't.
I thought you caught the ball until you didn't.
Yeah, until it hit you in the face.
Yeah.
All right. Your next word is...
He's got to get one.
You would think so.
Well, some of these are weaker, but I started off strong.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of closing down a little
Your
bit.
next word is phenomenon.
I'm trying. Like, there's a production company in Pittsburgh called Phenomenon, and I've definitely emailed them, and I'm trying to like picture it. But I also don't know.
That's why they didn't email back. The email never got there.
That makes a lot of sense. Maybe that's my whole career. I've just been misspelling like all of the. All right.
That's amazing.
Phenomenon. PH. A. NOM. ON. Phenomenon. No.
So the word you spelled was phenomenon. The correct spelling is PHENOMENON. Phenomenon. You spelled phenomenon. Phenomenon.
All right. Let's see if I can stump him with an easy one.
I don't want to give an easy one. but-
Boy.
Your next word is grateful.
That is that. Wow.
Grateful. GREATFUL. Grateful.
I'm so sorry. That is incorrect. Grateful. GRATEFUL.
You spelled grateful. You spelled grateful, but it was wrong because that's the stupid way to spell great. Because that's like a crate. It's a great. So you're right. It's just we're all stupid for thinking.
Yeah, English is fucked.
All right.
It's a butchered ass language.
I kind of want to give him. No. Okay. Let's do this one. Your next word is. I hope so. Like, wait. Do we have a bet or anything that like who can stump him more?
I mean, you're both down to your final.
I know, that's
your
why I'm
final
asking.
ticks.
I don't.
Okay. I don't want to hear you talking shit.
No,
if I
no,
give
no.
him- okay. Your next.
I gave him grateful.
Your next word
Yeah.
is Tennessee.
I was gonna give him Mississippi. I'm not even lying. And Tennessee was up there
Come
too.
on, you know sports. That's
Oh,
my
man.
pep talk here. Is that I've spelled Tennessee Titans before. Tennessee. I love that song too. Take me to a better place.
Country Road.
Tennessee whiskey.
No, Tennessee. It's just called Tennessee.
Oh.
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
I'm walking in Memphis.
I belong.
Tennessee.
West Tennessee.
TENNESSE. Tennessee.
Yeah.
So
TENNESSEE.
what's the point of the second E?
Well,
I thought it was
let's just do it.
Mississippi.
Your final word is Mississippi.
Oh man, I had so many.
Mississippi. 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 No.
MISSISSIPPI.
He said MISSISSIPP. He got cocky.
MISSISSIPPI. Mississippi.
Oh man. Whoa. 5 strikes and you're out. 10 strikes.
You fucking over.
What was her name? Lee. What was the person he lost the spelling bee to?
Lee
Ping.
Lee Ping.
Ping.
Yeah, I was gonna say something close to Lee Ping, but I felt like that was a little not
Lee
culturally
Ping.
appropriate. So Josh, do you want to give us words to spell and maybe
Yeah, I got one.
DRCK?
Iguana.
IGUANA.
idiot.
Before I do anything, I say to myself, would an idiot do this? And if the answer is yes, then I do not do that thing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Idiot Hour.
Josh broke his mic.
Josh just went 0 for 10 on a spelling bee. He has now unplugged his mic.
The mic is unplugged.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into the Idiot Hour. This will be on YouTube. I'm crying. Next week, we're going to give Josh another spelling bee. We're going to pull up second grade reading questions.
Yeah, we're going to try to improve his spelling week by week.
Okay, this is so trash. Oh, my Lord, you're terrible. Okay.
Oh, man.
Justin.
Hey.
Well done. Well done.
Hey.
Well done. We'll catch you guys next week live on Thoughts of the Bench from 8 to 9. We did not hit prime time.
We didn't do prime time yet.
We'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.